she converted to Catholicism to keep her people free as long as possible. If the great Queen Mazinga was alive today, she would encourage us to take ownership and to take leadership and to never back down from our lives.
Elizabeth Freeman Mumbet. Elizabeth Freeman Mumbet was born in 1742 and died December 28, 1829. Elizabeth Freeman Mumbet was a slave. She was the first African-American woman to gain her freedom in Massachusetts and restored her owner. After her lawsuit, Massachusetts Supreme Court declared slavery unconstitutional. That was the first state to institute slavery. She would inspire us to never give up on our freedom, keep fighting, and stay strong with belief.
Richard Allen was born February 14th, 1760, and died March 26, 1831. He was a slave in Philadelphia. He embodied freedom in 1783 and founded the first truly independent black church in the USA in 1816. Bethel African Methodist Episcopal Church. He would encourage us to attend church and do our best in everything we do.
Dred Scott was born in 1799 and died September 17, 1858. He was a slave in Missouri. He and his wife Harriet sued for their freedom, which was denied in the 1857 U.S. Supreme Court Dred Scott decision. The Scott decision overturned the Missouri Compromise and became a catalyst for the Civil War. If he were still alive today, he would encourage us to seek justice, seek freedom, and pursue our dreams.
Henry Highland Garnett was born on December 23, 1815, and died February 13, 1882. He was born into slavery. He was the first black man to deliver a sermon to the House of Representatives. He was also an abolitionist. He urged the slaves to rebel against their owners. In 1815, he founded the African Civilization Society, which meant a plan to move back to Africa. If he was still alive, he will encourage us to do what we feel is right and don't allow anyone to tell you any different.
Bridget Biddy Mason was born a slave August 15, 1818, and died January 5, 1891. She was forced in 1847 to walk from Mississippi to Utah, tending to cattle behind her owner's 300 wagon caravan. She sued her owner and won her freedom for herself and her owner's slaves. Through hard work, she was able to purchase a large amount of real estate and enough income to help make schools, churches, and hospitals. She also founded the oldest black church in Los Angeles, the first African Methodist Episcopal Church. Episcopal Church. If she was still alive today, she would encourage us to help in our communities and become entrepreneurs.
Yao Esantua was born in 1840 and died October 17, 1921. She was queen of present-day Ghana. She rebelled against the British, and she also started the Civil War. She rallied up the men of Ashanti to fight and said that if the men wouldn't fight, the women would take up arms against the British, and she was also exiled by the British. If she was alive today, she would encourage us to fight for our rights and keep fighting.
Jan Rissler was born September 15, 1852, and died August 24, 1889. He developed a machine to sew the top part of the shoe to the sole, which had been done by hand, which at best could produce about 50 pairs of shoes in a 10-hour day. His machine could produce up to 700 shoes a day, cutting shoes prices in half across America. His invention was called greatest step forward in the history of the shoe industry. He received 6 patents. He would encourage us to help others make our own shoes and make a difference.
Right. Ida Wells Barnett was born July 16, 1862, and died March 25, 1931. She was born a slave in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Her parents died of yellow fever when she was 14 years old. Her activism began when she refused to give up her seat after being asked by a train conductor to do so.
She was dragged off the train by two men, 71 years before Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat. She began an anti-lynching campaign after a friend of hers was lynched in Memphis, simply because he opened a successful business that competed with a white business. She was a woman suffragist and one of the founding members of the NAACP. She would encourage us to stop racism and communicate with one another.
Henry Herbert Harrison was born April 27. Henry Herbert Harrison was born April 27, 1883, and died December 17, 1927. He was a writer, lecturer, and advocate for equal rights. His writing and lectures influenced many of black radicals of the early 1900s, including A. Philip Randolph and Marcus Garvey, considered forerunners of Harlem Renaissance. In 1917, he founded two newspapers, The Voice and The New Negro. He also founded the Liberty Legal, which is an equal rights organization. He would encourage us to keep fighting for our rights and stop the killings of African Americans by law enforcement.
Abinia Lofton Haynes was born September 11, 1890, and died July 25, 1980. She was the first black woman to earn a PhD in mathematics from Catholic University in 1943. She taught in Washington, D.C. public schools for 47 years. Euphemia established the mathematics department at Miners Teachers College. She was the first woman to chair in Washington, D.C. Board of Education. She gave $700,000 to the Catholic University and a trust fund to establish a professional chair and student loan fund in the School of Education. If she were alive, she would encourage us to get an education and pursue a PhD.
Frederick M. Jones was born May 17, 1893, died February 21, 1961. Both of his parents had died by the time he was 9 years old. He served in the U.S. Army during World War I. After the war, he taught himself electronics. He built radio transmitters and a device that could combine moving pictures with sound. He designed and patented a portable air cooling unit for trucks carrying perishable food. He founded the U.S. Thermal Control Company, which grew exponentially during World War II, helping to preserve blood, medicine, and food for the war. By 1949, U.S. Thermal Control was worth millions. Jones received more than 60 patents. He would encourage us to do whatever you believe in, no matter your age.
Frederick Douglass Patterson. Frederick Douglass Patterson was born October 10, 1901 and deceased on April 26, 1988. He had a PhD in veterinary medicine, president of the Tuskegee Institute from 1935 to 1953. In 1940, he founded the George Washington Carver Foundation, which offers scientific research grants to African American students. Founded the United Eagle College Fund in 1944, which has raised more than $3.6 million in student aid. Founded the College Endowment Foundation in 1975, which encourages educational funding from private companies. Was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Ronald Reagan in 1987. He would encourage us to stay in school, stay focused, and others attend HBCUs.
Amelia Boyd Robinson was born August 18, 1911, and she is alive at the age of 103. She entered Savannah State at the age of 14 and transferred to Tuskegee, where she studied under Dr. George Washington Carver. She ran track and she was one of the captains of the basketball team. She began her career as a teacher in Selma in 1930, and she employed Tuskegee's idea of a movable school by giving instructions and demonstrations in farming and homemaking in remote parts of Alabama. She became a registered voter in 1932. In 1955, she organized the first boycott by blacks in Alabama after a Selma woman died from being dragged by a bus. She helped organize and lead the march, which became known as Bloody Sunday, which is depicted in the movie Selma. She was one of the first victims struck down at the foot of Edmund Pettus Bridge in the march from Selma to Montgomery. She will encourage us to stop racism.
Jewel Plummer Cobb was born January 17, 1924. After being denied a fellowship for graduate studies because of her race, she was eventually granted a fellowship after an interview and received her PhD in cell physiology from NYU in 1950. studied cancer cells. She discovered a drug which is effective in the fight against certain skin cancer, lung cancer, and childhood leukemia. This drug continues to be used in chemotherapy today. Served as president of California State University, Fullerton from 1981 to 1990. She would encourage us to continue the fight against cancer, keep going, and get an education.
Shirley Chisholm was born November 30th, 1924, and died January 1st, 2005. In 1968, she became the first African-American woman elected to Congress. In 1972, became the first African-American major party candidate for president. Throughout her tenure in Congress, she worked to improve opportunity for inner-city residents, was opposed to the military draft, supported spending increase for education and healthcare, and called for education reduction in military spending. She retired from Congress in 1982, and among other things, she was a visiting scholar at Spelman College. She will encourage us to stay focused and follow your dreams.
Lisa Clark King, born April 11th, 1938. She is the age 76 today. She earned her PhD in thermochemistry from the University of Chicago, MBA in finance management from Columbia University. She was the first African-American female chemist at the National Bureau of Standards. After serving 11 years as president of Metropolitan State University, she became vice president of General Mills and executive director of General Mills Foundation. She would encourage us to get all the education you need in order to be anything you want to be successful in life.
Dr. Mark Dean earned a PhD in electrical engineering from Stanford. He was the first African American to be an IBM fellow, highest level of technical excellence at company. He also holds 3 of IBM's original 9 patents. He's also called the father of the modern personal computer because his patents form the base technology on which all PCs are based. He would encourage us to be smart, to do things in a smart way, and don't let anything stop us from what we believe in. Don't let anything stop us from believing in what we believe in.
The events which transpired 5,000 years ago, 5 years ago, or 5 minutes ago have determined what will happen 5 minutes from now, 5 years from now, or 5,000 years from now. All history is a current. John Henrik Clark.